The Chapter 3 antagonist for Poppy Playtime has been revealed in the new teaser images posted on Steam, where you can now wishlist Poppy Playtime. So let's go ahead and dive into these images and see what we can find. The first image we're looking at here is a giant machine with 3 cylinders in it. Now this looks like it's probably going to be a puzzle, judging by the size of the monitors and the buttons. I'm guessing this is some way to either create the sleeping gas that the Chapter 3 antagonist makes, or possibly an antidote. The next image is of a dorm room. We see a bunch of bunk beds with the Playtime Co. logo all over the bed sheets and some giant blocks. There's also a hole on the floor with a bunch of scratch marks, which tells me that the Chapter 3 antagonist was in this room and possibly made that hole in the floor based on the scratch marks. The next image we have here is of a corridor. The walls are lined with poppy flower wallpapers, and there is a rug on the floor with what looks like to be a very simple image of Boxy Boo. We also see a few dead toys. We see a Boogie Bot strung up along with a cat bee on the floor, and of course on our right hand side we have a Brawn the dinosaur that doesn't seem to have its head, and its body is pinned up to the wall. This room has been completely destroyed, and it looks like we're looking through a hole in the wall. The next image, we're looking at another corridor. Now here, of course, we see a Huggy toy along with some parts of a Mommy Longlegs. What's really interesting to note here are the lockers. These lockers look like they were made for children, and we can see backpacks inside them. In the final image, we have a classroom. Now in my previous video, I did say that there's probably going to be some sort of classroom in the factory. First thing to note here is, of course, we have the fake windows. It looks like there is some sort of screen that's in front of it, some metal screen, and a fake outside. It looks like the outside is made up of cardboard trees and bushes, and the wall is painted to look like a sky with some fake sunlight coming from some lights up on the ceiling. This is definitely telling, as we can tell that this whole facility is definitely underground and the children were hidden from the actual sunlight. We see a teacher's desk with a chalkboard, and of course we have here in the front a rug with blood splatters on it, which means someone was killed in here. On the left side of the wall, underneath the bookshelf, we see something written on the wall. It's hard to make out what it is. I kind of think it might say POC, but I'm not 100% sure because it's slightly obscured by the bookshelf. The biggest hint here for the Chapter 3 antagonist is the purple pillow with the giant black smile, black eyes, and it seems to have pointy cat ears. And if you look over to the left, we see another pillow buried underneath more that looks exactly like this, based off of the recent ARG developments. And if you look at the paperwork, the Chapter 3 antagonist is described as being cat-like. So I think this fully confirms the villain in this chapter is going to be a giant purple cat spits out gas to put the children to sleep. Alright, so these images were super telling of what we can expect and where we're going to be going. This, of course, is definitely everything that's going to be in the play care, from where the children sleep to where they store their backpacks, and even the classrooms that they were learning in. And of course, I think we've already seen, again, one of the puzzles, the giant cylinders in the factory room. I want to know what you all think down below in the comments. Do you think that this is confirming that the antagonist is going to be a purple cat? Do you think those large cylinders is going to be a puzzle or some way to create the sleeping gas or an antidote for it? Do you think those lockers were for the children, or maybe they were for the employees that worked down in the play care? My other question is, what made that big hole in the floor? Something had to have fallen down there. So what could have it been? The Chapter 3 antagonist? Maybe it was Huggy. Who knows? Let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video.